Okay. A very interesting conversation is what we have today. We want to specifically look at planning, and the major focus is how to form a strategic plan, right? A strategic plan. A strategic plan. Strategic planning is very, very important actually in all the organizations, including bringing it down to individual levels. And people should learn how to set their plans strategically, or they should learn how to form a strategic plan. You may be aware that whether you are doing most of the applications that you are doing as an entity, that you may do as an entity, they will require you to give them a strategic plan. Usually they specify that give us a strategic plan for 3 to 5 years most of the times. They'll ask you to provide a strategic plan. So it is very significant, very important. You may be applying for any contract to the government, and the government will still require you to do that. You may be applying for some loans, some banks will still require you to provide a strategic plan. So a strategic plan is actually very, very important to learn how to come up with it. You need to learn how to come up with a strategic plan. It's very, very, very important that you learn that. Are you able to see the screen? Are you able to hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you for the feedback. So now, we are talking about strategic planning. That's what we are talking about. So what is strategic planning? To start with, what you should be interested in learning, or what you have to put into consideration when you're looking at a strategic plan, it is to answer the basic questions. Where are we now as an organization? Where are we now? That's an overview. Where are we now? And where are we going? Where are we going as an organization? What is going to get into our way? What do we need to get there? Okay. What do we need? What do we need to get there? So most of these questions, they're the ones that are usually written down, or that are answered in the strategic plan. So now, I will define what a strategic plan for you is, so do not really worry very much. So what is strategic plan? Let's start from learning what planning is, because it's very important that you learn what planning is. So planning, according to Kelly, let me get the one for body of 2008. He said, planning, is just the setting of objectives, specifying how to achieve them, implementing the plan, and evaluating the results. That is what he said. He said planning, that's general planning, not strategic planning, okay? That's just general planning. It is setting objectives, specifying how to achieve those objectives, implementing the plan, and evaluating the results. That is according to him. Okay, that's the definition that we have borrowed just from him. So you understand that in planning, you are just getting those objectives. You set those objectives. You also outline how you're going to get those objectives. You evaluate the results at the same time. What could be the purpose of planning? We do plan, and planning helps us to, number one, clarify direction. Planning helps us to clarify directions. Planning helps us in motivating our workforce. It helps us to motivate the workforce, and it does help us to use the resources efficiently. That is what planning does. It provides a way to measure progress. If we have not planned, we may not manage to see whether we are progressing in the right direction or we aren't. Okay. So there are 5 main just steps that are involved in planning. And this is general planning that I am explaining to you, not a strategic planning. I want you to first of all understand general planning so that you can get the difference when you start looking at strategic planning. My major focus is to talk about strategic planning, but first of all, understand general planning. First of all, are you able to hear me? Am I speaking so fast? You are unable to get what I'm saying. I should slow down?
Yes, sir, slow down a bit.
Yeah. You know, the sir is able to know when he's speeding. He's aware that he's speeding. So he has realized that he's speeding. So he has to, this is a very important unit. So let me slow down. Let's look at the process of planning and follow nicely. Number 1, the first step in planning, according to the writings of Griffin in 2002, in his book, page number 196, he said you need to understand the environment. Understanding the environment is the first step. And this is actually done by analysis, okay? It is done by analysis. So you analyze the environment. So he said, number 1, you need to understand the environment. Understand the environment. That is according to him. Then he also said, what else do you need to do? After you have understood the environment, I'll show you how to understand the environment when you go to the strategic planning. Don't worry. Just get it that number 1, understand the environment, both the internal environment and the external environment. Step number 2, establish the organization mission. You have to establish the mission. Okay. Usually the mission does outline the purpose of the organization, the values and directions of the organization. In the mission, you will have the purposes, the reasons as to why the mission, the organization is existing, the values and the directions of that company will be given within the mission. And that is the second thing. That's the second step. That's just in general planning. Okay. So you need to get the mission. Once you establish your mission, then you are okay. Then once you have done the establishment of the mission, I've talked about the mission here. This is in general planning, of course, not strategic planning. You have established the mission. What else do you need to do? Okay. You learn that from the mission, you need the strategic goals. Okay. The strategic goals. Yeah. And usually these same goals, they help you to form strategic plans. So you need the goals so that the goals can help you to form the strategic plan. Maybe your question would be on how do you set the goals? I will talk about how the goal setting process in the strategic plan when I present the strategic plan that I want to present. So get it that you set the goals, and once you set the goals, then the goals will help you come up with a strategic plan. Then once you do have the strategic plan, they are very, very important because they serve as the inputs in developing the tactical goals. Okay. So from the strategic plans, they will help you to come up with the tactical goals. Tactical goals. And the tactical goals, they help you come up with the tactical plans again. The plans that we set are different. Okay, they are grouped. They have got groups. We have got strategic plans, your tactical plans, and operational plans as well. So I'll show you, I'll explain each of them in detail. So I'm talking about strategic plans. They help you to come up with the tactical goals so that you can have the tactical plans. And I will give you each of them in detail very soon. Then once you have the tactical plans, then you can combine the tactical plans so that you can have, when you combine the tactical plans and the tactical goals, you can have the operational goals, so that the operational goals gives you the operational plan. So the combination of the tactical goals and the tactical plans gives us operational goals. Okay, operational goals, so that the operational goals can help us to come up with the operational plan. And at this level, once we have the operational plan, then we can simply say we have reached the last part, because once we have the operational plan will give us the day-to-day activities that you need to carry for you to achieve the goals that you actually want to, for you to reach those major objectives that you have set. So the operational plan will give us what you will be doing exactly on a daily basis. Okay. So now, how do you form a strategic plan? Let's have now the strategic plan, not just the general plan, the strategic plan. First of all, it's important for us to define what strategic planning is. We need to understand strategic planning. By definition, strategic planning is a process of proactively aligning the organization's resources, okay, that is the internal environments, with the threats and opportunities that are caused by changes in the external environment. That's according to the writings of Smith and the friends. So that is what strategic planning is. It is a process of proactively, the key word here is proactively. You are proactively, meaning in advance, you're trying to align the organizational resources, okay, with the threats and opportunities that are caused by the external environment, by those external environments, those threats, opportunities. Yeah, so when you're trying to do the alignment, that is a strategic planning. So that is what it means to do a strategic planning. So when you're doing a strategic plan, you should understand the characteristics thereof before I give you the steps that you need to follow. So the following are the key characteristics of a strategic plan, not just a normal plan. Number one, a strategic plan is an ongoing activity. It is a process. You don't just do it once and once for all you end. Meaning it needs to be refined time again and again. You review it. A strategic plan requires a well-developed conceptual skills and is performed mainly by the top management. You know, because the strategic plan guides the entire direction of the company. You may not just give any common people to come up with it. So you give the top level management, usually they may have the clear, ideas of where they want the company to be after some time. And once you say that, it should interest you to learn that the strategic plan focuses on the organization as a whole, and it does not only focus on the specific departments of an organization. It looks at the organization as a whole, like the entire business. Usually the strategic plan is future oriented, and those are some of the common characteristics of a strategic plan. And the following are the steps that are involved in strategic planning. Let me now slow down. Number one, analysis. Okay, it starts with analysis. I'll give you in detail what this means. So there is analysis, then followed by vision. From the vision, you need the mission statement, mission. And once you do the mission, you need the values. Okay, the values, you can have the goals. Okay, the goals or the objectives afterwards. And then you can form the strategy. The strategy comes at the end. These are the 5 steps, and we are zeroing in now to look at them in detail. Before we go and look at them in detail, do I have any question? Is there any question, or is the class able to hear me?
Sir,
Ma?
I think go slowly on the definition of the strategic plan.
Okay, I go slow. Thank you. Any other concern? I've heard I need to go over again the definition of a strategic plan. Do I have any other question?
The other thing you said, 5 steps. So I don't know if I missed it, but there are 6 steps here.
Okay. So the major steps that are here is analysis. You analyze the vision, the mission is formed, the goals. Let me write them like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let me write them like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The values, they fall within the mission. Thank you. You got it?
Yes.
Okay. So let's start from let me go back, and we need to give the definition, to go slow and give the definition for a strategic plan. Strategic planning, like itself, first of all, strategic planning is defined as the process of proactively aligning the organizational resources. You are aligning the organizational resources. That is to say, aligning them with the threats and the opportunities that are caused by the external environment. This is the definition that was extracted from this particular book. But to speak so that people can actually get to explain what maybe to give an explanation of what this means is that, yeah, the environment that we have, that is say most of the time the external environment is dynamic, right? We are all aware that the environment is dynamic. It keeps on changing. For that reason, we may have objectives, we may have the visions, we may have all those plans, but there are some external forces that come, usually that those forces, they affect us to reach where we want to reach. Okay. Now, when you are forming a strategic plan, it simply means you are trying to align your resources that you have proactively, like trying to look in advance how best you can combine these resources so that you can realize the visions that have been set, despite all these dynamic and unforeseen circumstances. You try by all the means to at least reduce the risk, minimize the risk by at least preparing in advance and trying to foresee what may befall you. Does that help?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Let's start now. Let's start the process. Number one. Strategic planning. Number one. Analysis. It is very important and extremely important. Before you come up with your visions, your missions, whatever your goals, do analysis. Do the analysis. Why are you encouraged to do the analysis? It is because if you have done the analysis will help you to see where you are standing as an individual. And the analysis that you do the SWOT and the PESTEL. Now, when you say you are doing the SWOT analysis, last time we talked about this, we said the SWOT analysis simply means identifying your strength, your weaknesses as an organization, your opportunities, and the threats that you have around. You identify the weaknesses, the threats, the weaknesses, the strength, the opportunities, and the threats. Then you do carry this model, you get this model that helps you to analyze the external, the macro environment, where you look at the political, economic, the social, technological, and environmental legal factors. Once you have done the analysis in detail, then this will actually give you the position of where you are standing as a firm or as an organization. Okay? It will just help you. You are doing more like self-inventory just to understand yourself better. You may not manage to prepare and fight for unforeseen circumstances of life as a firm if you do not properly understand self. So it starts by understanding yourself first as a firm. Know your weaknesses. What are some of your weaknesses that you have? Is it because you have got poor leadership? Are you lacking in communication? What problems do you have? Are you weak when it comes to the issues of technology? Where is the problem? Okay, what are some of your opportunities around? Do you see a lot of places that unentered areas, that the locations that do not have the product that you are wishing to sell? Those could be some of the opportunities maybe for growth and introducing new locations. Are there any threats like that could include your competitors, your the legal laws, the regulations from the government, and maybe political instability. So do you see those as a challenge that is going to affect you? Okay. Once you look at all these, you do some analysis, then it will give you the inventory of where you are standing as a what? As a firm. Once you understand where you are standing, then you can come up with a vision. And here now you pay attention. Before I go any further on the vision, do I have any question? Any comment?
It's clear on my side.
Okay. All right. Thank you for the feedback. Let's have the vision now. This is very important. These steps can be broken down to an individual level at some point. I'll have a conversation sometime in the future where I'll bring this down to the individual level. So now we are looking at them at corporate level. The vision. The question is, if success was a place, how would we know if we got there? Okay. If success was a place, how would we know if we got there? Where are we going? That is a question. Those are questions to be answered. Where are we going? Why should we go there? What is winning according to us? So it is very important for you to establish where you are going. Okay? Where are we going? And it is for the management, actually top level management, to give clarity pertaining to where they are going. Because the lower level employees, they may not understand where the organization is going. So it is very important for you to clarify where you are going. Okay. The questions to answer are, where do you see yourself as an organization in 3 to 5 years from now? Where do you see yourself in 3 years from now? Very important step. What about 5 years from now? What of 10 to 25 years from now? Okay. What is the big goal that the team should chase so that we get there? Now, the principles are the individuals or the stakeholders of the organization or the corporation must understand this vision properly, and it has to be explained to them. Ensure that you explain the vision to everyone in the company, everyone in the organization must know where we are going, so that we can work towards that direction, towards that goal. It should be very clear in our books of records. I should be quick to indicate here, when you go on the website of every organization, there will be, you will have the visions. Most of those visions, the summarized visions that they put, they may not be very much enough. They are just there to give the direction where we are going as a company to the public, but you may need the detailed vision in the firm, as a company. You may not display everything on the social media, but you should have a clear vision of where you are going, what your aspirations are. Where do you see yourself in 3 years from now? What about in 5 years from now? Those things, it should be very clear. Visualize and write down, not just visualize in the head. It has to be written down, summarize the statements, and this should be passed down to everyone in the organization, and everyone has to understand the vision, where we are going. Okay? So the questions that we are answering are, where are we going? Why should we go there? And what is winning according to us? The vision should be clear in terms of the following. Hello, should I further reduce the speed? Or we are fine now? Madam Gladys, do I need to reduce further the speed?
No, sir. Yeah, fine.
Okay.
As for me.
All right. If anyone is not comfortable, you can still tell us. Yeah, you can still comment. All right. Let's continue now. The vision should be clear in terms of the following. Number one, the operations. Operations. and technology. There should be a vision that you have as an organization, as a corporation. How would you want to be working? How would you want the processes to be after 5 years from now? After 3 years from now? How would you want the level of technology that you are using in a company to, at what height? Write down. In terms of staff and human resource development, we need a plan on human resource development, a vision, not a plan, just a vision. Where do you see your workers? How many people do you see working for this organization? Okay. How many people do you see working for your organization 3 years from now? How qualified are they supposed to be 3 years from? This is very important in the vision. It's just a vision. Clients and markets. These are areas where the vision has to be clear. Okay. On marketing, when it comes to marketing, it should be clear how many locations do you want to have 3 years from now? Hmm? It should not just be saying, oh, as the Lord allows. No. It doesn't work like that. It should be clear where, how many stations do you want to have? How many offices, how many locations do you want to have? Where do you see yourself in terms of locations from now? And marketing, in terms of the clientele base, okay? How large is your clientele base? Your market share, how big is your market share? Where do you see your market share from now? That is very important. Competitive advantage. Those are areas where you need your vision to clarify, a corporation one. Competitive advantage. Okay. When you look at your competitors around, since you had done a SWOT analysis, you see, when you compare yourself with your organization, are you going to be number what? How many competitors are you still going to be worried about? Very important. And it should be clear in terms of the general growth. Okay. So that's it in a nutshell about the vision. The vision is very, very important, being the second step in strategic planning. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So, can we go back to the on the point staff?
Sorry?
Yeah.
On staff?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Human resource development on like how many workers do you want to have? Like how many people, you know, are you going to employ? Do you see yourself employing 3 years from now? Okay. How qualified? Okay. What could be the minimum qualification? All those dreams in all those areas are very important. You can have a vision also in terms of finance. How many investments are you going to be holding? If you want to be a company that will be holding shares in other companies, like, okay, where do you see yourself? Does that help?
Yes. Just a question on the same. While you're doing the same plan, is there a possibility of putting in, for example, you might say, I want to achieve this, then all of a sudden COVID hits. So is there like some loops you leave out when you're doing this plan, or you just go straight to the numbers, or you leave room for some
Okay.
eventual COVID or
Okay.
some change in the law? What do you do when you're doing this?
All right. Thank you very much. The question, though the question has come so early, that part, yeah, that one, to answer the question, is factored in when we come to goals. Okay, that should be number, I think it should be number 4, somewhere down. You know, the vision should always be there. come COVID, it may not, it shouldn't change. Usually the vision is rarely affected by these external. What is usually affected are the goals, like how quick you wanted to achieve these. And so you can factor in that provision when you come to goal setting, and I'll comment on that part. Thank you. Does that help?
Okay.
And that's why we say that this is a process. It doesn't need to be fixed. Yeah, you need to review. You are always there to review this strategic plan again and again and adjust it, since we don't know the future. Okay, let's go to the third step here, which is the mission and purpose. Now, this is a strategic plan. What is usually examined is not just a common plan, it's the strategic plan. So just pay attention to the strategic plan. What do we include under the mission? Now look, the mission answers questions that include: why do we exist as a firm? Okay, why do we exist? Who is your target market? Okay, you are existing for who? Who is your customer? Who is your target market? What are you doing for them? That's a question of a product. Like, what product, what good or a service do you have to offer to those customers? Now, this mission or the purpose, it is made to be very simple. It is supposed to be simple and easy to understand, still communicated to the people. And mainly on the vision has to be communicated as well, generally. Maybe before I go any further on the mission, still on the vision, a research was done, of the key executives and the good managers. So what happened that there was one of these managers, not really managers, like a key executive. What he decided to do, they printed out the caps, and the vision of a company was written on the caps. But after asking the people, those who were wearing those things, wearing the vision, and asking them, they could not explain the vision. They could not understand the vision. But on the other hand, there was the other executive. And he carried the strategic plan everywhere he went in his briefcase. He was always with it. And every time, should he meet anyone, any employee, he could remove it and explain it to everyone. And he was there to explain to all the employees. And what happened was that those employees never had even any shirt, any t-shirt, any cap written, having the vision written. But when it came to achievements, they did perform very much. Like, they did perform very well. Those who never had any writing. The message that we are deriving from this is that the vision may not really just need to be written to employee. You write maybe on their t-shirts. The key thing is to explain to them, make them understand. And the vision can never be over-explained. It can only be under-explained. I repeat that statement. It can only be under-explained, not over-explained. Let's go back to the mission. The mission is there to answer the questions: why do we exist? Who is our target market? What is the product are we offering to the market? And there are many people that form companies and they don't even have the mission. They don't know, they don't even know why they're existing, because they don't even know how special they are. Like, How different are they from the competitors? Okay. How unique are they? They don't know. That's why they don't. You see, they don't even have a target market. You ask them, who is your target market? They don't know the target market. And for that reason, they're just punching in the air, marketing to anyone, all over, everywhere. It does not work like that. A good company, from the time it was established, and once it has a good strategist, the strategic plan should indicate our target market very well. Those that want to get loans from the bank, you want to get maybe CDF funding, you want to, like, these things are very, very key, very important. Because which investor can invest in your company where you don't even have a target market? There is no one. There is no one. But if at all they are there, they should be sure. Okay. Then you will have values. Values are part of the mission. Now, look, the values are very, very important to your company. These are, we are not really saying they are a step on their own. The values, okay? So these answer the question, what do you value as an institution? Okay, what is it that guides you as you're working? What's the guiding philosophy? Okay, are you honest? If you, maybe your core values are honest, you know, hard work, what, all those, innovativeness, okay? The core values that guide you as an institution, as you are delivering your services or your goods, they are very, very important. Because the question under values that should be asked would be, if the organization were a person, how would you describe him or her? How would you describe the person, this person, or which is the organization, to a new person? Okay, or in other words, when a person comes to the new institution, as you are inducting them to the new working culture, what do you tell them that this is acceptable behavior at this workplace? What is, this is bad behavior? And usually the summary of that, the summary of the behavior, character, and everything, including attitudes, it is found in the values. And so the strategic plan has to indicate the key values of an institution. I have already said that you have identified the risks, you have done the SWOT analysis here, which is a good thing. You have understood your weaknesses, you know where you need to improve. Then you go to the fourth stage, which is actually goal setting. Before I continue on goal setting, let me call for any question, if at all there is any question. Do we have any question? Hello?
The values.
Yes.
Can you repeat on the values?
Okay, thank you. We repeat on the values. The values, they give us what you deem important and highly important as a firm, like as you exist. What are really some of the core things that guide you as you are delivering, that help you to achieve your mission? You know, for you to do and achieve your mission, you need some values. There are some things that you have said that these we will not do. We will do this so that we manage to do what? To achieve these values. Okay, so to achieve this mission. So the values, under the values, we can say, let's say an organization where a person. So how would you describe that person to a new person? Okay, so that is if a new person comes, for example, to the organization, right? What would you tell them that this is acceptable behavior This is unacceptable behavior. This is a good character. These are good attitudes. These are bad attitudes, right? The philosophy around that is summarized in the value. The values should summarize the accepted behavior, the character, the attitudes that people should attach towards work, the general working culture. For example, you may say our attitudes are, hard work. Here, our attitudes are, our values are honest. Okay, we are honest here. Here, faithfulness or trust, meaning like just those things that you put, which you know that they are really core and very important for you to manage to realize your mission and your purpose. You are the values are there to caution and guide, protect your mission. Does that help?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. If you set a mission that does not have values, then your mission will be sabotaged. Your mission will be sabotaged by the wrong behavior, wrong character, low levels of knowledge, and poor attitude and poor working culture by the general workforce. So that's why it is very important to guard your mission and your purpose. And how do you guard your mission and your purpose? You're very aggressive on this one and you're very serious. Every new person that has come to the organization should be inducted to the new working culture, to the values. Show them the values of the organization. Tell them that here, the core values that we have are hardworking. We are hardworking here. We are honest. Here we tell the truth. Here we are faithful. Here we do this. Okay. Those are the core values that you just get so that you can guard and protect the mission. Goal setting, which is the fourth, the fifth step. Is this, how did I write this? This should be the fifth step. Have I missed the things? No, I haven't missed, right? Yeah, this should be this is the fourth step. Yeah, you're right. Goal setting is the fourth step. I will have a conversation. I am planning to have a conversation in the next class, specifically on the art of goal setting. Right now, I'll talk about it a bit on surface because it's a very broad conversation that can take us an hour just to discuss in detail. Yeah, I'll talk about it on surface, but I will employ and ask the class that one of the conversation that we are going to have should allow me to explain the mechanism behind goal setting, how to set a goal. Yeah, of course, we may be aware that the goals are employed. They are said to be smart. They need to be smart. Okay. That is to say, the goals that we set are supposed to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-based or time-bounded. Okay, these are the goals that we set. The mechanism of setting I will give you. So the goals that we set are very, very specific. We don't want you to set the goals that they are not specific this time around. But the goals that you have to set are so specific in such a way that these goals that you set, they should not just be general. They should be stated in such a way that you should be able to know when you have achieved them, how you can achieve them. Like when you have realized those goals, you have to know that you have managed now to reach there. Because if you just have the goals that don't even have numbers, no deadlines, no nothing, it is difficult for you to know that you have reached where you're dreaming to reach. Very, very important. Then on setting goals, generally, there is what we call a balanced scorecard. It serves as a guide, a balanced scorecard. What is a balanced scorecard? A balanced scorecard, it is actually one of the models that is used to guide us on the spheres and on how holistic the goals that we set as an organization are supposed to be. What are some of the key areas that needs emphasis or attention as we are setting so that the goals are so holistic, they are balanced? Under the balanced scorecard, there is financial. We need the financial goals. We need the goals that focus on customers. We need the goals that focus on the internal processes. The internal processes, and we do need the goals that concentrate on learning and the growth. Learning and what? And growth. 4 areas. Let me talk about them a bit in detail. Financial. As you set the goals, your goals that you set, they should also address the financial aspect. Set the goals around finance. Where do you see yourself? How are you going to achieve? That's why even the objectives that you set, like your vision that you have, you should also reach on the part of finance. So now the question is, how do you get there? Then you set these goals that should explain specifically the step by step what you are supposed to do to get there. You want to get there. You want to get there. Then where do you see yourself in terms of finances? That's the vision. But you need the goals that should carry you from where you are to go there. The customers as well. Should consider your customers as you are making the goals. The goals that should hinge around customer satisfaction. Okay. The relationship that you have with your customer. Okay. How would you want the customers to perceive you after some time? The internal processes as well, you should also have the goals around how you want the internal processes to be. Learning and growth. As well, you should have the goals on the learning part and the growth part of both the human resource, especially the workforce. Now, once you do all these things, then you should couple this with what we call the KPIs. Okay. The KPIs. Now, what are the KPIs? Okay. KPI. KPIs are the key performance indicators. The key performance indicators. The key performance indicators. We need the key performance indicators, like that should guide, because without the KPIs, we don't know how far we are from achieving the goals. We don't even know where we are. So they should be the key indicators. Usually these are metrics. The numbers, you try to quantify every qualitative variable that you may be able to know how far you are. Numbers don't usually lie. So you introduce the KPIs. I'll show you on how to set the KPIs, the mechanism behind setting KPIs for each goal that you set. It should give you an indicator how far you are. When you set the goal, actually the goals, they should have the indicator. Each goal, the question should be, when you set the goal, how am I going to know that I have achieved it? So there should be things, so there should be numbers, there should be some signs to help you. And those are called the KPIs, the key indicators. Number 5, which is the last step, strategy formulation. Before I talk about the last step, which is the strategy, do I have any question? I know I have overshoot, but I just I just need very few minutes from now. I will be done. Do I have a question? Am I audible enough? Are we together? Are we okay?
Yes, I audible. I want some clarity on the when you're doing the goal setting on the smart.
Yes.
We talked about the goal being specific. It shouldn't be like in general. Then I didn't get on the M and the A. I know the R is realistic, and then there's time bound. In the M and the A, I didn't get it.
So where should I explain?
The M on smart.
Oh, measurable.
Measurable.
Okay.
And then the A.
Achievable or attainable. It should be achievable. So the aim, it will be measurable. You have something that you can at least manage to measure. Not just say, no, I want to be rich. What do you mean by being rich? That's too general, too open, and this you can't easily measure. How are you going to measure? You need a goal that you can measure. Yeah, that's the part. We need the metrics on this point. Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Then the last step is strategy formulation. Now, a strategic plan is a strategy is formed here. And what is a strategy? A strategy by definition is an action plan. An action plan on how to achieve a set goal or objective. That action plan. Now, in the strategy, you are going to outline the exact things that you are going to do. Like, that's a strategy. Like, what is it that you are going to do exactly? Like, what are you going to be doing every day? What will each employee do? Okay. So this one focuses on the actions, like the doing part. What are you going to do for you to realize those things? And once you guide the step to step guide, what are you going to be doing on a daily basis or maybe every month? What is it that you're going to be doing so that you can achieve these goals that you have set? So the action part, once you write down the actions, that is on the strategy. That's a strategy part. So it should actually outline the steps, the actions that you're going to do to take so that you manage to achieve the set goal.